Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it a lot. You know, the other day I was out here trying to do a live in my watermelon patch, and I'm ashamed to say it did not go well. A few of you had commented because I was showing you how to grow watermelons. That was the title of the video, and at least one of you said, well, that was a nice showing of your watermelons, even though it was only one. I'm kind of paraphrasing there. That's all I could do. The Wi-Fi was going out because I'm kind of far enough away from my Wi-Fi hotspot area, and there's no data out here, so I couldn't link to phone data, mobile data. You know, we're kind of rural, even though we kind of live in a development where there's some homes close by. We're far enough out where it's a hassle sometimes. Anyway, I thought today I would take just a moment and we'd go through in a pre-recorded fashion, and then I'd upload this so it wouldn't be interrupted. I'd show you how many watermelons we have, which I'm surprised. We've got quite a few watermelons, and honeydew melons, which are musk melons, versus the watermelon type, which are two different kinds of melons, but of the same ilk, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's go back into the garden area. It's right back over here, and I'll show you them right now. Now, believe it or not, this is the watermelon patch, and it kind of starts from right about here. This has kind of gone a little woolly because we've had lots of warmth and rain. Anyway, all of that, with the exception of, let's see, that right there, that's basil. It's all watermelon and honeydew. It just kind of like overtook the area. It's incredible. But let's come over here. You can see one right over there. This just came out of one simple watermelon plant, and it's just gone absolutely crazy. Take a look out there. Yeah, here's one right here. Pretty cool. It's this one's small. He's almost the size of a small, well, let's just say a Nerf football. Yeah, but he's one of the newer ones. And this one here, he's about the size of a basketball. Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Let's take a walk over here. There's a muskmelon, or some of you may call it a honeydew. Cantaloupes are of the same family, but he's doing quite good. This guy, I'm telling you, is a monster. Yeah, no joke, guys. It's about the size of two basketballs. And there's Mr. Bumblebee back there doing his thing. We got another one over here that's about the size of a football. Another one right here about the size of a football. Another one over here about the size of an oblong softball. He's kind of one of the further ones out. We must have, oh, and then there's another honeydew. Let's focus that guy. He's in there somewhere. Can you see it? Yeah, we traveled around the other side of the vine, and honeydew and watermelon kind of coexisting back here. There's another honeydew guy right here. Pretty wild, huh? We probably have a total of 10 watermelon and maybe just as many honeydew growing in here, and all from one plant each. I think the honeydew had 2 plants in the little pot that we bought, but you can see the honeydew flower, which is that one right there. Honeydew is still blooming, and we're going to continue to have fruit. There's one down deep inside of there. Don't think you can see. I can barely see it. Yeah, it's hidden down in there. But the secret is don't over water. Yeah, we had 3 watermelons that I guess we were over watering, and they were growing and growing and growing, but they got so filled with fluid that they cracked. they burst open. And so we cut back on water, and since then they've grown in size much more rapidly. And with the one that we did pick, because there's one on the table right now that I showed you the other day, and there was one we picked earlier. Gosh, it must have been close to basketball. Well, it was about basketball size, and weighed a lot. It was very juicy, small rind, lots of flesh. Not quite watermelon enough for me flavor, although it tasted like watermelon, but it was picked probably a little early. And the way to tell is there's a little tendril that comes out that's closest to the melon itself. When it dries, be watching for the stem that goes into the watermelon, and as it starts to shrivel, when it gets to a place where it's kind of shrivelly, then cut it and then harvest it, because that's saying, yeah, I've taken all the nutrients out of the plant I possibly can, and then it might as well pick it. And then there's going to be quite a bit of sugars that have gone into the fruit, and you can pick it then and it would taste very sweet. Same thing with the honeydew. Honeydew is a little bit different in that it doesn't have that same tendril, but when it starts to look like the stem is able to take as much as it possibly can and it's starting to shrivel just a little bit, snip it off the fruit, and you'll be fine. So those are my secrets. Don't water it too much. Let the vine do its thing. If you start seeing vine that goes kind of crazy and in places you don't want it, cut it very soon, because if you let it grow too long, you might actually do more damage, because I find anyway that the nutrients go out to those things as they get longer, and so the shorter they are, you cut them off sooner the better. Then it doesn't get quite as crazy as this. But we, other than trimming a few, we did let it go, and there is fruit continuously coming. So we're gonna have a lot of watermelon. Our neighbors are gonna thank us for watermelon, because we can't eat all that all at once, and it's all kind of coming in at the same time. So anyway, if any of you have any experience with watermelon, and we have a little bit, but not a whole lot. We're not experts by any means, but this is just what we've done here. But if you've got some experience with watermelon, you care to share it, put it down in the comment section. Let us know what you do to foster a good watermelon crop and a good honeydew crop, or a cantaloupe crop, if you've got those things going on as well. Oh, and before I forget, thank you to Polka Dot Queen, because we have these peach trees that are starting to give some pretty good peaches. We put them in last year, and last year they didn't do all that great. First year in the ground. This year they're doing quite a bit better. They're looking really good. This peach tree had all its fruit fall off for some reason. Doggone it. I noticed a couple of spots on one of these peaches where the mockingbirds are coming in and starting to peck at it. And so on Instagram, Polka Dot Queen is someone that I subscribe to, and they subscribe to me. Check out our Instagram, by the way, because we do talk about some of these kinds of things too on Instagram, and show some pictures of her of around the compound here, and you might be interested in that. But anyway, her suggestion was take long strips of aluminum foil and put it on the tree near the fruit, and the flashing lights will scare the birds away. And I thought, brilliant, because we did that back on the tomatoes, and it worked really well, kept the birds away. And so now the tomatoes have kind of dipped a little bit. Look on Instagram, you could see how many tomatoes we harvested. A lot. There was almost 30 pounds of tomatoes. A lot of tomato sauce, let me tell you. Shooting Gal was busy. But anyway, so we took these little mylar strips, and I tied it to the branches, so we're hopefully going to keep the birds away from pecking at the fruit until it's ready. And it's almost ready. The fruit is still a little hard. It's not really time, to go at these yet, but they will be pretty soon. So tin foil, or I use mylar strips, truth be known, they're Pop-Tart wrappers. I trimmed the Pop-Tart wrappers to make them, long, and then tied them on with tie wrap, and does a lot of reflection and shininess, and it hopefully will keep the birds away. All right, what else do we got? Well, as you can see, the chickens are still doing pretty good, and we're doing pretty good. It's been hot, 100 degrees plus, and no relief in sight, at least for the next couple of weeks. No rain either, so it's been kind of dry, very hot. But the watermelons seem to love it. How are you guys doing, by the way? I posted a video similar to this the other day, and many of you responded, and I do appreciate it, and I heard from a lot of you. I'm hoping to hear from more of you. With all the craziness that's going on in the world, how are you guys? I hope you're doing well. I see who you all are, all those that are watching and subscribing, and Patreon patrons, thank you very much. And I try to keep tabs on you all as best I possibly can. But I really want to hear from you. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you're well. Hopefully, you know, your not only your physical state, but your emotional state and your mental state are in a good place. I know what I do is I pray a lot for my family. I pray a lot for you guys, and I'm just in tune with what God is saying in the moment, and try not to pay attention to what the media and, you know, the world would be saying, because all the world really wants to do is make you feel bad about yourself so they can feel good about themselves. That's kind of how the human condition is, and let me tell you, the media is no better than that. So anyway, I'm praying for you. Let me know where you're at, okay? Let me know emotionally how you're doing. Let me know physically how you're doing, and let me know mentally how you're doing, and let me know spiritually how are you doing. We all have our battles, I know I do, but my hope is in the God that I worship. That's my Lord Jesus Christ, and I talk to him often. And just know, whether you believe it or not, or believe in him or not, I mention all of you often to God, that God would protect you and bring you and draw you close to himself, because that's where true hope and peace is. I believe that. I believe that with my whole heart. And God has proven himself to be faithful to his people who follow him, and he's proven himself faithful to me in many, many cases. Many cases. Manna from heaven, guys. Ginger just wanted to say hi. Say hi, Ginger. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I hope you're doing good. Let me know. Comment below, of course. And as always, God bless you. God bless America. And may America bless God. We'll see you soon. I just went into the brood box because I heard one of the chickens in there, and she just laid this. It's hot. Manna from heaven, folks. Manna from heaven.